Hello, good afternoon Year 6 and welcome to today's session where in STEM today we are going to be looking at creating a functional design and we're going back to our engineering. But before I start on that, let's go to last week's challenge. So last week's challenge was about the 4-colour theorem. Now, I did say I would give you the answers to this one, so here it is. In 1976, Ken Apple and Wolfgang Haken published proof that you can colour in any map with just 4 colours. Their proof was so complicated that they had to use a computer to check over 1,000 special cases. Okay, but they worked out that it does indeed work. And now a map on a donut can require up to 7 colours. Okay, now how that works is as follows. If you have 3 areas, each touching the other 2, then they will need 3 different colours. And if the next area drawn here touches only 1 or 2 of these areas, then it can be the same colour as one that it doesn't touch. And if the next area drawn instead touches all 3 colours, touches all 3 here, okay, then it would be the other colour. But then notice that would then isolate that red colour, meaning that any colour now could be red, okay. So, therefore, no more than 4 colours are ever needed. Okay, and if you have drawn a pattern with more than 4 colours, then it means that it's possible to colour the pattern in a different way that uses only 4. Okay then. Now looking back at today, we are going to be looking at the prosthetic hand challenge. Now if you look, when we're doing these STEM activities, this challenge alone, look at how many things it covers. We've got maths, we've got shapes and measurement in here, we've got science, we're looking at humans, skeletons, muscles, DT's in there as well, okay, and that designing, that making, that evaluating, and of course we're going to be designing, building, testing and evaluating ourselves, okay. So there's so many different areas covered in just this one little challenge. Now, the prosthetic hand challenge. Before we start, let's look at our hands. In your hand, okay, and in any human hand, on average there are 27 bones, okay, so 27 bones in a human hand. And here are some of the names of them. And I say some because the carpals down here have separate names for every single one of them. So we've got the distal phalanges. Okay, you can see they're on all 5, okay, your fingers and your thumb. We've got the middle phalanges, which are on your 4 fingers. We have got the proximal phalanges, all 5. We've got the metacarpal bones. Now, if you feel the back of your hands now, if you rub the back of your hands, these are the bones that you can feel. Okay, and then I've got carpals down here, and these are at the bottom of your hand, just above your wrist, and there's lots of little bones there, all each with their own unique name. Okay, so that is how your hand would look and how it's made up. Now then, today you're going to be looking at biomedical engineering. Now, biomedical engineers, they design, they test, they modify, that means they change, they recommend the changes of, and they evaluate all medical equipment that is used in and around the human body. So today, you're going to try and create a robotic hand using just some paper, some string, and some straws, okay? So let's go to the basics of it. Now, on my sheet that I sent you, or I sent to your parents, okay, all the instructions on there, step by step, okay? I'm just going to quickly run through this part here now. Now, when it comes to putting these STEM activities together, I do think about what you might have at home and what you might not have, okay? So all of these activities are designed that you would either have these, or if you don't, you could maybe adapt and change and maybe try something else. For example, if you don't have any straws, maybe you could roll up some of your own paper, okay, and see if that would work, okay? Have a go, see what you can make work, and that's part of the fun of these challenges. So ideally, you would be able to have some straws at home, some cardboard for your hands, because paper might be a little bit too flimsy. It might just fall apart that a little bit too easily. Sellotape, or you might be able to use glue if you stick it well enough, or you have a hot glue gun. String, again, you might be able to use thread or wool. And of course, scissors to cut out. Now, these are ideas. If you have something else at home that you could use and you think it'll work, then have a go, try it, see what happens, okay? So the first part you're going to need to do is to draw around your hand and cut it out. Now, of course, your hand will be smaller than maybe your parents, for example. So if you want a bigger hand, you want a bigger prosthetic hand, then of course, ask mum or dad or gran or grandpa if you can draw around their hands, okay, and that will make it a little bit bigger. When you draw around it on your cardboard, you will then need to cut it out. When you've cut it out, you'll need to put the bends into each of these thumbs and fingers. So as you can see, okay, the 2 bends there, and then 3, 1, 2, and 3 on each finger. This bend will help it move down. Okay, so cut out, make the bends, and your next step is to put the straw pieces on there. So you'll need to cut them quite small. Now, be very, very careful. You'll actually need these smaller than you think. Okay, you don't want really big pieces. If the straw is really big and goes near this bend, the finger won't move, or it won't bend as much, okay? So the smaller these straw pieces, the better. They're just designed to keep the string in place and to pull it at the right part, okay, to provide some flexibility. So you will need to draw around your hand, put the bends in, cut out the straw pieces and stick them down. With sellotape is absolutely fine, okay, sellotape will probably keep it down the best, or a hot glue gun. You could try and use normal glue, but that might just fall apart a little bit easier, okay? So I would highly recommend probably sellotape with this one. And there we go, okay, see that's how it looks when it's finished. So I've got my little pieces and then I've got my big ones here, which will sort of keep all the string into that one direction. And when you've done that, it's time to start attaching your string. Now, with your string, they will need to be longer than you think. It is much better to have a really long piece of string, okay, that you can then cut at the end, than find out it's too short and you have to take it all out and redo it all again. So the longer, the better, okay, you can always shorten it a little bit later. You'll need to thread the string through each finger and thumb, and then you'll need to attach the string to the back of the finger, okay, so you can see the string just goes around the back here. Then you'll need to make a bridge across there, like that, and stick it down. Again, this will keep all your string into one place, and it will stop the string, when you pull it, it'll stop the string going to the sides, okay? It'll keep it going down through here. And when you've done that, it's pretty much time to start, okay? You can tie some knots in the bottom here, okay, to put your fingers through, and then as you close and open your fingers, then the cardboard fingers here will close and open as well. So let's see what you can do. Okay, remember, this is not just about the making of this. The next step is to evaluate what did you do well, what could you do better next time. Okay, so year 6, you are going to become biomedical engineers today. So have a go at making your own prosthetic hand. Then you'll need to evaluate, okay, go through the design process. What did you do well? What could you improve for next time? And remember to send your evaluations and your photographs or your videos of you making this to me before the next STEM lesson, which is next week, okay? Now, if you've done that and you want to have a little bit more of a challenge, you want to do some extra things with this prosthetic hand that you have just made, then of course, you can challenge yourself further. You could maybe try and pick up some objects. What's the heaviest object you can pick up? Please make sure it's not breakable, okay? Try things that won't break if you drop them. Again, can you make the hand pour a liquid from one container to another? What's the highest capacity? So if you've got a plastic cup with 100 millilitres in it, can you get it to be 150, 200 millilitres, 300 millilitres? Again, remember, please use something that's not breakable, okay? So maybe a plastic glass would be better, or a bottle, okay? A plastic water bottle. Another one is, can you type a sentence on a keyboard? Could you use it to type a sentence on a keyboard? Maybe have a go. If you do try some of these challenges, then please do film it or please do photograph it and send it to me, okay? I'd really love to see it. So year 6, that is your STEM activity today. You are going to become biomedical engineers, so enjoy, and I look forward to seeing your work. Thank you very much.